Hello, my name is Zachary Cook, and this is my TED Talk speech on my personal testimony. Now, I would like to show you my audience. Okay, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself and my journey to here to SEU. Also talk about me as a Christian and how I grew up as a Christian and what my Christianity is like now. My first point / part, I guess you could say, is I'd like to talk to you about how I started out as a Christian. I was born into the church. I was in my mom's womb for actually since they went to church, like my parents went to church, and it's actually kind of cool to tell that not many people were always born into the church, and basically just been there since I was born, and actually at the same exact church since I was born. And I never left until I came to college, of course, because I had to leave my hometown. And I used to go to Sunday school all the time to see my friends, and actually, the friends that I did have, the small group of friends I had, I've known since I was like a baby, basically, because they're all the same age as me, pretty much, just a little bit older. I'm the youngest of the group, so yeah. Also, the people that are over the youth group, at least the K through 8 youth group, are actually the people that used to babysit me. Well, one of the people that used to babysit me, and it was always nice seeing them. And actually, when I started going to high school, there was another youth group for high schoolers, and we would always go on trips, have fun. It was just a lit thing to do, and we would make really good relationships, especially with my youth pastor. I still talk to my youth pastor now, and he gives good advice, and we've even gone out to fish, and it's just nice. And I just realized over the years that going to the youth church back then was kind of the main reason I wanted to go to church, because it was just fun, and I actually did like learning about God, but I realized after just realizing that was one of the main reasons that I didn't have as good of a relationship with God as I should have. And I guess you could say because I was a kid, I'm interested in other things like having fun and everything, but especially now, I think I need to start getting closer to God, Also with my parents, they used to well, they still do actually. They work in the ministry at this church, so they would take me with them. So I kind of had to go in some ways, but yeah. And a second point, I guess you could say, is I like to talk about how I am as a Christian now. I think more now is not that I have such a better relationship with God. I'm more realizing how much I need a better relationship with Him, and that I'm actually trying to have a better relationship more and more every day, but it's really hard to with school and wrestling. So it's kind of a tough little battle to myself, and then the free time I do have, I kind of be on the game or doing something else, watching TV. So it's kind of priorities. I actually have a Bible verse that I've been using throughout my walk in college and wrestling since I've gotten here, and it says, and it's Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, and it says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of a sound mind." And my mom was actually the one that gave this to me, because she saw this. I think God put this in her heart, and she wanted to show me, and I've just been using this ever since I came to SEU. And honestly, to me, it means God's just telling me to basically not fear of what could be, or what could happen, what can happen. Just focus on what you can control, because God's got you all the time. He's gonna take you where you need to be. He's gonna do what He needs to do for you, and He's never gonna forsake you. So I just always keep that in my head when I'm wrestling, practicing, or when I'm doing schoolwork, trying to push through school, do what I gotta do, And it's just been hard to focus on my relationship, like I said before, just with school and wrestling. So when I realized that, it made me want to get closer to Him, and honestly, it's been helping a lot. And I feel like I pray a lot more, even though I don't really read the Bible, which I need to. And I'm trying. I really am trying, and I think when I have more time, I'm gonna try to get even closer. My third point / part, I guess, is I want to talk about how and why I chose SEU. My high school coach actually mentioned SEU. I didn't think too much about it at first, because the only reason he mentioned it is because it was one of the schools that had wrestling in it. Excuse me. In the whole state of Florida. And throughout the rest of my senior year, I was always thinking I was going to be an electrician, because that's what I wanted to do. And so I was just going to go to a 2-year community college in my hometown, just get my AA and a business degree or something like that, and then go do an apprenticeship and get my journeyman's license. So that was my plan, but God has other plans. So I just decided to come to SEU and wrestle, and I have been enjoying it and also not enjoying it at the same time. It's just stressful, but at the same time, I do love the sport, and I do love still learning in a way, learning more about myself and figuring out what I figuring out really myself, who I am. I honestly didn't think I'm gonna be wrestling, but I think that's a blessing in itself. The other reason I chose SEU is because just when I came to the campus, people were nice. It looked nice. I feel like since it was a small college compared to most other universities, they would actually care, instead of being in a seminar with hundreds of students or whatever, and I'm not paying as much attention to you, and it would just be what? But they were more one-on-one, and they actually care, and they give back feedback a lot, and as long as you work with them, they'll work with you, and sometimes they'll even reach out to you before you reach out to them. So I really appreciate that. My last point I wanted to make is it was actually really hard to get into SU, because I didn't get my license until I was 18, and I was worried about passing the test, because I took that test the summer year of my senior year, so I was about to go right into college. So if I didn't pass it, I would have to take it again and wait, and it was just been stressful. And plus getting a car, I had to get a car that was dependable, because we had a car for me, but it was not dependable. We always had problems with it. So my mom wanted me to have a good car, so we had to get that. And I honestly didn't think I would qualify for the school. One, because the SAT scores, mine weren't that great. But for some reason, I think with COVID, they didn't count that year. So I got in with just my GPA. So that was great. It was a blessing. That was definitely a blessing. And also, honestly, I thought the price of the school, we came into a big roadblock when we thought we couldn't get any more scholarship for me. And it just kind of sucked. I thought I really wasn't going to be able to go, and I really wanted to come to school. So yeah, that was almost a big bummer. But God provided everything for me, so I am very grateful, and I will forever be grateful for what He does in my life and continue to do in my life. Honestly, in conclusion, I would just like to say that everything I went through growing up and going through trying to get into SEU, I see the importance of not worrying about what you can't control and just worrying about what you can control. Because at the end of the day, God's got you. He's going to take you where you need to go. And also, I see the importance now of having a good relationship with Christ. And honestly, is just gonna push me even forward and make me go where I need to go. And that is the end of my speech. Thank you very much.